Hello, this is Bible Academy. I'm Pastor Teacher Curtis Omo, and as you can see, I have something new for you today. Been working on this for a long time. We've got it up, we've got it running, and I think it is ready now for those of you out there who want to have a website available. One of the big advantages of the website is that you can download directly to your machine from my website. There's still the YouTube option. That is going to be open. But I wanted to go to this site and show you some of the features on it and how user-friendly it is. Now what you're looking at now is what it's going to look at on a mobile device. It's of course a narrower screen. It'll also work on a iPhone or Android tablet, an iPad. I did have a problem getting it to come up on an iPod through Safari. I had to go through Chrome. So if you have an iPod, it doesn't work on Safari, download Chrome and search it through there and it'll show up. Now, here are some of the features. Let me show you. These three little bars right here, when I open them up, that will give you the major categories that we have. Adult lessons, children, doctrines, translations, and if you need to contact me, we'll talk about these things later. The adult lessons, let me click on that for a moment. There you see the Bible training lessons, the major themes, New Testament, Old Testament specials. Let me just click on Bible training for a moment. Under Bible training, you have the option of basic training and intermediate Bible training. Let's go to basic training. I click on that. It'll open up a larger screen and give you the basic training lessons. Now again, these are available for your own personal study, family, or group study for that matter. And these will download simply by clicking on them. Now, if you haven't been on this site, if you're fresh onto this site, it may take a few extra seconds for it to open up. Just be patient. But I've got them down to like maybe 2 seconds before they open up. But sometimes if I've been on another part of the screen or on the website, I'll come back to them and they take a few more seconds to load up. But they are there. Down at the bottom of this screen is some information about the Academy, about our goal, as well as our content. And you also see some links. This is Google Plus link to YouTube. This is directly to YouTube. And then there's the ICTHU sign that has Dr. Luganbill's website on it. So those links are available to you. Let's go back to our main screen here. Let me open this up, and the way I have to do this is show you half at a time. So I'm going to open this up to show you what it's going to look like on your computer. Okay? And if you see this, you see these bars across the top now rather than those three little bars. Okay? It'll also show you categories. And here's your search bar right here. There's the basic training we just looked at. Let me go back to the home. I'll put us on the main page again. Here we are. Okay? Let me lower this screen a little bit for you. Now, one of the other features I wanted to show you is this search feature. Now it's a little bit different. It works a little different. It has different options than what we saw earlier. Let's take an example here. Now, well, before we do that, let me point this out. This 2 Thessalonians lesson 7 and 6 and so on, these are the most recent posts. All right? Now they're not always going to be the same posts that you're going to see in YouTube, though most of the time I expect they will be. But this is the most recent post in both right now, both YouTube and the website. Those are both different operations. Let's take an example of a subject here that people are interested in, Antichrist. Okay? Now, I'm going to hit enter, and it will search. Let me tell you what it's searching. It's searching all the adult lessons and the doctrines. So these are two of the lessons that discusses the Antichrist as a major subject. It is in the category of 2 Thessalonians. It's also discussed in Future History Lesson 3, as well as the doctrine of the wrath of God and the doctrine of apostasy. But these top two look like they're going to be the main two. You can even see Antichrist mentioned here. You can see Antichrist mentioned right here. Okay? So I've typed in Antichrist. I've come up with some of the top lessons on that subject, and then a couple of doctrines that discuss it. Okay? So that's how that search feature works. Now, let me show you a little deeper on the search feature. Say you want to go to 2 Thessalonians and see what that lesson says on it about the Antichrist. I hit 2 Thessalonians, lesson 5. I come up for you with two options. The first option is the website download. The second is the YouTube channel. Of course, the YouTube channel will take you directly to YouTube, and you can watch it from there like you've done in the past. Now, I will say this little download icon I have here, I'm not sure you're going to have that on your computer, but you are welcome to download these lessons if you see fit, but you should do it from my website. Okay? Do it from the website. That's the legal way to do it from what I understand. Now, down here at the bottom, we're already familiar with this from the Android or the tablet view. Now, I just wanted to say that you're certainly free to use these lessons for your personal or group study. They are copyrighted, both on this site and YouTube. Now, but I would ask of you, if you go through these in the near future and you find that a download lesson doesn't match what it's supposed to, if you would send me an email, let me straighten that out. There's an unbelievable amount of meticulous and very orderly work to get these things right. You miss one step, you may have to go back and do all 30 or 40 lessons again, and that is very time consuming. But I'd appreciate it if you see something that doesn't match up and you let me know. If any of you have ever done this type of website with this many videos and pages and postings, it is very time consuming to have to try to click them all in the right order and the right buttons, and then even after you double and triple check, you still miss some things. Now let me just comment on some of the content of this website. I'm going to go back to the Android picture, or the tablet picture for you. Let me just make some comments on the content. These are probably questions that people have had, but I might as well answer them now and save some writing. Now, the lessons you're probably familiar with. If you've studied through YouTube, there's not a whole lot to say about those. Now, I have changed some of the titles of the lessons. They are duplicated in other places on the site. One of the most obvious examples is that I did a creation study. That is also part of Genesis. So that is also part of a future Genesis study that is upcoming soon. But in the right now you can't see that on here. Well, let me see. Maybe you can. I don't think I've got Genesis on here yet. Well, I do. Oh, this would just be what the creation special is. I haven't got what's come after that. So what you're looking at basically, well, you do have the major themes. That's the creation special. Then after that, you go into the new downloads that I have. I haven't posted these on YouTube yet, but that'll be coming soon. I haven't got those as ready as I want them. Okay. The doctrines. Go back to the doctrines. The doctrines, here's a short list of what's coming, but you can type on a doctrine and you will see that I usually have them dated at the top. This one is 8.3. This just a few days ago updated this one. Now, one of the things I was disappointed in is that it changed so much of the formatting that I had on the original doctrine. But if you want the original formatting, you have to go to the website, or let's see, I believe you can download this. If you download it, you will get the original. Let's see what happens. You get the original formatting. I don't want to make this introductory lesson too long, but I did want to explore some of this with you. I haven't done it on the small screen, though I've done it on the larger screen, so I'm not always sure what to expect. Yes, it came up like this over on the left side of my computer, and here it is. This is the original formatting. Now, one of the issues you'll find is that on the, I'll let you look at it. Look right here under point 1, apostolos, that's in the Greek. I have not been able to put the Greek word in this website, or the Hebrew for that matter. I have not figured that out. My son told me, and he works on these things, he said that that's going to cost a lot of money, so I'm waiting to see what I can do on that. Because you have to buy a set of fonts and have some machine to translate it for you, so it'll show up on this website. So that's an issue I'm having to work on. It's only a small percentage of words like that, and they're all in the doctrines. And of course, you'll see them in the studies because they are whole and complete. Okay. Let me talk a moment about the translations. The translations, New Testament, Old Testament. Let's just go to 1 Thessalonians. Now, you may find that these translations are not the smoothest English. They don't match up with the NIV, and they don't match up with any of your translations. And one of the reasons is because if you have been with me in my studies, you will note that I go into some detail trying to explain the language part of it, and I will keep that language more intact in my translation rather than try to smooth it out. So you can call it a working translation, you can call it my translation, but it is going to be different, and that's one reason sometimes it sounds a little rough in the English. But if you studied this lesson or this verse within a lesson, you'd understand why it's that way. So I'm going to keep them the way I have them on my lessons. There's plenty of good English translations out there. So they are designed to coincide with a particular study. And basically, one final thing is the contact. Now, I will admit I'm pretty sensitive about this. I am not one to spend a whole lot of time on counseling. That is a very time-consuming thing to do. And I have a very full schedule. And I am not going to be able to answer just any question about any subject on the Bible. So I need you to understand that I wish I could, but I can't if I'm going to continue posting a couple of lessons a week, because when you combine this study with work and raising a family and all the other things I've got to do, I don't have time to answer all those questions that I expect people will be throwing at me here pretty soon. So What I would ask you to do as a guideline in asking questions, I want you to ask questions. Feel free to contact me if you have a question about a particular lesson or what I said. I would look at it like this. If you've ever sat in a college class, think of it as a question you might ask a professor to clarify or respond to in a classroom. All right, as if you were going to ask a question about something the professor just said or was going to say. I will be more than happy to answer you on that question, but I really can't take just any general question about the Bible, its text, or related subjects. This is not a counseling ministry. I've had a lot of that training, and most of it was psychology. I'm not into that. My view is if you learn the Bible, you will in time know what to do. So that is why I'm sticking to my guns here at this point and saying, you learn the Word of God, and God, through His Word, will give you the answers when you need them. It's not to say you can't go to people and ask advice. I'm not saying that, but that is not the thrust of this ministry. I still hope to get out at least 2 lessons a week. That'll depend on my study and my work schedule. I do have the YouTube channel that I will keep up, the Bible Academy, and also one called Bible Academy for Children I started up a short time ago. Well, I hope you find this site a helpful tool in your spiritual growth, and this is all to the glory of God. Goodbye.